Let me start this as simply as possible. You don't use props from a completely different movie! The Mummy is directed by Alex Kurtzman and stars Tom Cruise as Nick Morton, Russell Crowe as Dr. Henry Jekyll, Annabelle Wallis as Jenny Halsey, and Sofia Boutella as our mummy, Princess Amunet. Now, I'm going to try to keep this review as spoiler-free as possible, but this movie irks me so much that I just might give away some spoilers unintentionally or intentionally, depends on my mood. I can't say that I enjoyed this movie. It is not a great movie, it is not a terrible movie. It is just a bad movie. So The Mummy is Universal's attempt to get a stephold into the cinematic universe fad. And from what I saw, they failed in that aspect. So the plot is somewhat the same from what we saw in Brendan Fraser's The Mummy as well as the original Mummy. Princess Amunet is wanting to become Queen of Egypt, but her father, the Pharaoh, has married another woman and she gives him a son. So what does she do? Kills them all! She also makes a pact with Egypt's form of the devil, but that's getting into a bit of spoilers here. So once she is caught after killing her entire family, she is mummified alive and sent into a dark abyss. So fast forward into the present, we get Nick and his side character, I believe his name is Vale, who is also supposed to be the comedic relief. And in this movie, the comedy falls flat on its back. They are out in Mesopotamia, which is now called Iraq, looking for a treasure or some sort of forbidden, hidden treasure. But what they find is Amunet and her mummification prison, basically. So the characters take the sarcophagus out of the tomb, or prison, if you want to call it that, and take it on its way back to England. But on the way there, Nick wakes up in the morgue where he's supposed to be dead, but he's not dead anymore. Why? Because he's cursed. And him and Jenny actually go to find Amunet, the mummy, but when they do, random horrorness ensues. Vale, along with Amunet, explain to Nick that he is now cursed. He is now the chosen one to be the vessel for a much greater evil. Thankfully, Nick and Jenny escape from Amunet, but she does find them and proceeds to kick Nick's butt. That is when, insert secret society name here, comes to capture the mummy and bring her back to England, to the populated England, for Dr. Henry Jekyll. And there we actually meet Henry Jekyll, who explains to Nick that he is cursed, trying to help him understand what is going on. And there we actually get a bit more exposition and explanation between Nick and Amunet. Like, a third of this movie is exposition between characters or to the audience. It's a little annoying. So evil mumbo jumbo happens. Dr. Henry Jekyll turns into Edward Hyde and proceeds to beat the living daylights out of Nick. But all the while, Jenny is trying to get back into the room to save Nick, but one of the guards is actually trying to stop her, but Jenny actually hits the guard and knocks him out with a book, with the Book of the Dead. The same Book of the Dead, the exact same prop from Brendan Fraser's The Mummy. It was at this point I was thrown completely out of the movie. In the end, Nick fights Amunet, and he spoilers. I'm not going to give you the end, because if you guys want to see it, you can watch the movie for yourselves, or you can't, because I didn't enjoy this movie as much as I should have, and I will be saving you guys $5-10. So what I'm trying to get at here is the Universal has a plethora of great monsters to use in movies. The Mummy, the Wolfman, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, Invisible Man, you name it, they have it. But instead of making great individual movies of each of those characters and having little to no connection in between them, like they could have the minusculest type of connection between each and every one of those movies. It probably would have been great. They decide to go for mediocre movies that create a giant and convoluted cinematic universe. Do you see the problem here? So overall, 2017's The Mummy is not the Mummy movie we should have gone. It is not the movie that should have kickstarted the Universal monster movie, their dark universe, as you want to call it, Universal. This movie was bland, the pacing was very off, the comedy was completely flat, the score for the movie, the musical score, was completely forgetful, and overall I have two good things about the movie. Sofia Boutella and Tom Cruise. Those were the only two shining actors in the movie. Everyone else felt really bland, felt like they were hemming it in or whatever. So yeah, don't go watch this movie. I highly recommend you don't go watch this movie. I am going to give 2017's The Mummy a 3 out of 10. Please, I beg you, don't go watch this movie. Watch Brendan Fraser's The Mummy. That one at least tried to be good, and in my perspective, I thought it was good. Number 1 and 2. Number 3 was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Okay, guys, so did you watch The Mummy? If you did, I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys had a different opinion of this movie than I did. Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Were you meh about it? Let me know all in the comments down below. And if you guys are on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button for more movie reviews. I'm trying to do the best I can, but sometimes my brain don't work. And if you guys are on VidMe, hit that upvote and follow. I definitely watch, I definitely read all the comments. Alright guys, that will be it for this movie review. Please, again, don't watch The Mummy. I'm Josh, and I will see you all later. See ya!